Representation is so important. For those who don't know, I am a proud mixed-race hapa. I'm half Filipino and half Polish. And for my other mixed people, we kind of have this weird dilemma. A part of us is like this proud, unique person, but then on the other hand, you feel like you kind of don't fit in at the same time. And I didn't really mean for this video to come off like a race thing, but honestly, this is just something I live with and I felt like it was very important to talk about. So here we are. During the panoramas, I had to cancel my client shoots, and I know a lot of you can relate to this. Eventually, people started to get back into work, but for me, I was really scared of being around people. So I focused more on my YouTube work, and I worked from home. 2 years of this went by and I didn't do any client work until this interview. We got asked by one of our aunties who's in charge of the CHSA, which stands for the Chinese Historical Society of America, to do an interview for the Bruce Lee exhibit that's coming up next year. So if you're in San Francisco and you have some time and you want to show some support, hopefully you could check it out. Anyways, our interviews with the one and only Shannon Lee, Bruce Lee's daughter. I suddenly got so excited and motivated to get back to work, and the fact that this was my first job back was just so amazing. Shannon Lee is one of the executive producers for HBO's show Warrior, which is actually 50 years in the making because Bruce Lee wanted to make this series. She's also in charge of keeping her father's legacy living on. And most relatable to me is that she is also a hapa. Yes, a female hapa working in Hollywood. That is just so boss, and I'm so there for it. I packed up all my gear on a live stream, and Twitch fam saw me packing up like everything from my arsenal: 3 cameras, a slider, a bunch of lights, etc. I was just so excited. I wanted to bring everything and make sure it was extra good. Also, something I want to bring up is that in our world, interviews aren't really the most creative thing. It's not supercars or a travel vlog, and they're very easy jobs, and after you set up everything, most of the time you're just kind of like tuning out the interviewee and watching cameras and audio. I've shot countless interviews, but none of them touched me like this one. When you get someone like Shannon Lee who's just like so in tune with herself and the accomplishments her father did, the whole thing just felt like I was zoned in. It was like an inspiring therapy sesh. And we all know that he is already a legend, but just hearing the stories from her just hit different. She shared stories about how he lived his life with creativity and purpose, and how he created his own martial arts, he loved fashion, and also that he cut his family's hair himself. And I thought that last bit was super cute. I love how he took into account every little detail and he understood philosophy. And this is a subject that I've been really interested in lately. And there's a famous Bruce Lee quote that goes, "Be water, my friend."
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Taoism philosophy also uses water as an inspiration for many, many life teachings. Coincidentally, I also made a video using these like water concepts. I'll link it down below if you haven't checked it out already. And Shannon Lee also wrote a book called Be Water, My Friend, which is teachings from her father as well. It's crazy because I just felt like the whole universe was just connecting us in this moment. I'm also a Pisces, so I'm like really attracted to water, and Atolla is actually a marine jellyfish, as opposed to a land jellyfish. Atolla is actually a bioluminescent jellyfish too. Let me show you some clips of what we shot.
He really wanted people to see his performances, see him, see his art, see his being, and say, now there is something and someone that is real, that is like vibrant, that is alive, that is of quality, that is honestly expressing themselves, that is, you know, powerfully vulnerable and unique. I wrote the book, Be Water, My Friend, because I had been a student of my father's philosophy for a number of years, and I'd finally gotten to a place in my own process of maturation, of knowing myself, and knowing that there was something that I wanted to share about how his work had affected me, and how it could then in turn affect others and help others. My father's writings were given to me, copies of them were given to me because my mom was working on publishing some books of his writings, and I came across a quote that I had never heard before. The medicine for my suffering I had within me from the very beginning, but I did not take it. That phrase, the medicine for my suffering, and I thought, there's medicine for my suffering? What is this medicine? I need it right now. And then it, went on to say, I had it within me, but I didn't take it. There was just something in those words that just suddenly soothed me and immediately set me on a path to attempt to discover my cure.
Super powerful, I know. Definitely come by San Francisco next year. I think the exhibit is scheduled starting February 5th, 2022. And it'll go on for a while, so you will have some time, but I'll keep you guys updated if you're down. We made a bunch of different videos from this interview. We have 3 exhibit videos. There's a marketing video, an excerpt for another event, a social media clip, and I think we're gonna have the full interview out somewhere on their YouTube channel. Lots of content. My editors are super busy, so shout out to my editors. Thank you for working so hard on this. Personally, I've noticed that it's really hard for me to find people that match my energy and have the same mindset. As I get older, I kind of just stop caring about people's status or the shit that they own or their appearance. I'm just more intrigued with how people think and how they overcome struggles. I have struggles and demons of my own, and I know you do too. So right now, it's just been the most interesting thing in my life because I just learned so much, and in turn, it makes me feel powerful. It's like a superpower that we never thought we needed. Usually when people ask you what superpower you want, you say, I could fly, or I want to read people's minds, or control certain things, or whatever. But honestly, the greatest superpower is just being able to endure and overcome things that are like up against you. That's real magic right there. I usually watch these types of people online, like either on TED Talks or Masterclass or podcasts, but just hearing someone in person is just so transformative and incredible. I remember after the interview, I even asked if she could be my mentor because everything she said was just so on point with things that I've studied or read about or just things I think about. And it's just like so rare for me to cross paths with someone who's just woke like that. Usually when I like talk about these things with people, they kind of just like look uninterested or think that I'm kind of crazy or I'm just out there. So yeah, it was just so nice to hear from someone on that level, especially because they're hapa like me. I'm so happy that the world is just opening up to stories and talents from minorities. Bruce Lee was definitely a part of that, and Shannon Lee is carrying that on too. And in a way, it reminds me why I do what I do. That I could be inspiring someone just watching me from the other side of the world just by being me. And that's really crazy. And this is why representation is so important. It shows us what's possible. Thank you for watching. A reminder, please come to San Francisco and visit the Bruce Lee exhibit at the CHSA next year. We would love to see you there. And if you can, check out Shannon Lee's book, Be Water, My Friend. She actually gave this to me after the interview and signed it, which is incredible. It says, Kitty, wishing you much love and flow. Thank you, Shannon, if you're watching this. Oh my God. You are amazing. I love you so much. And again, if you want to check out my video about water and my whole concept behind that, I will put the link down below. All right. I'll see you when I see you. Done. Bye. Shout out to my hapas. Let's go.